In the past, women have been given a bad rap when it comes to their fighting skills. Well, with the rise of some truly incredible fighters such as Ronda Rousey and Chris Cyborg, the perception of females being the weaker gender is slowly disappearing. To prove how true this is, in today's video, we will show you 10 fights where the man was destroyed by the woman fighter. But before we get started, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell. That way you will never miss a future upload. Number 10. In what appeared to be the strangest MMA fight in history, 529-pound Grigory Chistiakov stepped, or should I say rolled, into the ring to challenge Darina Madzuk. The whole event was organized to drum up attention and to get people talking about MMA, something they certainly did. Grigory, a blogger, entered the ring with the swagger of a champion, but ended tapping out. His shorter opponent managed to down the giant with a punch before unleashing a series of headshots. Number 9. A young female wrestler known as Emily the Showstopper on her YouTube channel was more than ready to take on a 15-year-old green belt. At the start of their match, both fighters seemed to get the upper hand on the other at times, but it was Emily who eventually managed to dominate her opponent, forcing him to go on the defensive. Unfortunately for the poor guy, Emily managed to pull off a triangle lock that led to the referee calling the fight in her favor. Number 8. 4 YouTubers decided to take on a professional MMA fighter, Miesha Tate, for a video that certainly entertained their viewers and embarrassed the content creators. One by one, Miesha grappled, tossed, and choked each of the guys with very little effort. All the way through, you can see that Miesha is enjoying watching the men squirm and forcing them to tap out. One even resorts to running around the ring, a strategy that prevented him from getting beaten up, but unfortunately didn't win him the fight. Number 7. Sports hosts are the first to criticize fighters on their technique, but what happens when one steps in the ring with a professional female boxer? Well, one man who learned the answer to that question was Alex Monaco, who found out very quickly that he was a small fish in a very big shark tank. What didn't help Alex was the fact that he had never boxed before, whereas Danielle Wolf was a female boxing champion, a continental champion, and was also on the 2016 USA Olympic team. It is obvious that Danielle didn't want to hurt Alex, holding back her strength and refusing to uppercut him. Eventually, the fun and games ended with a powerful shot that knocked Alex out cold. Number 6. This guy holding a flower must have somehow thought he was going on a date rather than a kickboxing match. Unfortunately, the romance was cut short when his female opponent began landing kick after kick before knocking him down with 2 punches. He didn't fare much better in the next round when his awful defense meant she could repeatedly punch him in the face. The rest of the fight saw the guy take hit after hit before the bell rang. The guy was no doubt humiliated after the fight. Maybe next time he should suggest dinner and a movie. Number 5. Not scared to go full force on his female MMA fighter, this guy went straight for a quick hold. Unfortunately for him, his opponent had the flexibility and the speed to quickly slip out of it and turn the tides on him. On multiple occasions, you can see the guy's strength is a huge benefit, especially when he lifted the woman up and slammed her to the ground. Although it looked like a painful fall, the female fighter only tightens up her hold and chokes the guy into submission. Number 4. This female MMA fighter waited for the very best moment to strike back against her opponent, punching him back into the wall of the cage. Luckily, the ref steps in to give him time to recover before continuing. It's clear that the guy underestimated the power of the female fighter, and even turns to his coach for guidance after losing control so quickly. Number 3. This guy seemed to have an iron grip on his female opponent. That is, until she managed to land a number of punches to his head and face that weakened his hold and allowed the female fighter to shift around and get on top of him. Once she was in the perfect position, she rained down a flurry of punches that clinched the win. It seems that this fighter doesn't take embarrassment well, as he tried to attack the woman after the fight had ended. A foolish move for someone who was just beaten up by her. Number 2. An internet troll tried to put his money where his digital mouth was when he agreed to spar with Tara LaRosa. Although he gives it his all, he quickly loses his stamina, allowing Tara to maneuver him into an arm lock that forces him to give up.
Okay.
The internet troll might be wearing a Harley Quinn t-shirt, but it's Tara who's the joker, mocking the exhausted guy lying flat on the mat. Number 1. Once again, we see Ronda Rousey step into the ring with someone who thinks that their years of reporting on fights will somehow give them the edge over a professional. In this case, it was Aaron True who threw down the challenge and instantly regretted it. Before the fight, True told Rousey how he thought being a male would ensure an easy win against the professional.
I've got to be honest. I don't think you have as much strength and can compete with a man, even though I'm a white belt.
This clearly fired up the MMA fighter, who flips True onto his back, breaking 4 ribs, squashing his balls, and destroying his ego. Like all the others you saw in this video, maybe next time True will think twice about judging a fighter on their gender. And that concludes our video on 10 guys who got owned in the ring by women fighters. If you want to watch more incredible fighting content, head over to one of our other videos. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe to Brutal TV and ring the notification bell. Thanks for watching.